So one of the fragrances that is on the clone fragrance hype train is Maison Margiela's Replica by the Fireplace. One of the fragrances that constantly pops up on best of clone lists is Ameer Al Oud Intense Oud by Lattafa. So as far as clone fragrances go, I have mixed feelings on this one as a clone of By the Fireplace. My name is James, and I'm going to give you guys a detailed breakdown of this fragrance to let you know, is this worth picking up and is this accurate as a clone? Here's a quick overview of the box, and of course we have our bottle here. So the bottle definitely gives off the Middle Eastern vibe, and here's a look at the atomizer. So if this is a clone of By the Fireplace, let's take a look at some of the fragrance notes and see what By the Fireplace is all about. Top notes of cloves, pink pepper, orange blossoms. Mid notes of chestnut, gaiac wood. Base notes of cashmere and vanilla. If you're not familiar with this collection for Maison Margiela, Replica is basically trying to replicate what the name of the fragrance is, hence the name Replica. Now if we take a look at Lattafa's website, Ameer Al Oud Intense has notes of saffron, nutmeg, woods, labdanum, oud, leather, and vanilla. So this is a completely separate note breakdown than what we see for By the Fireplace. Now having said that, there are many times where Middle Eastern houses will list completely different and odd notes that do not match the fragrance at all. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to spray Replica By the Fireplace on one wrist, let it work through top notes, mid notes, and base notes, and then also spray Ameer Al Oud Intense Oud on my other wrist and do the same thing. So let's get into the comparison. When I spray By the Fireplace on, I get an immediate nutty accord coming off my skin. Now I don't know if it's exactly chestnuts because I can't remember what chestnuts smell like. It's definitely very nutty. After a minute or two, it starts to envelop into more of a fireplace scent. I get wisp of smoke and wood, but I still get that chestnut accord or that nutty accord that I got in the very first blast. I don't really smell any sweetness or vanilla. I would imagine that the vanilla is toning this down a lot and not making it as sharp and smoky. The scent is very nice and pleasant. I don't feel like one of the notes is trying to take over and push everything down. It's really blended well up to this point. To me, this is kind of an intimate and cozy scent. There's just not a lot of projection to this. I'm not going to walk into a room and everybody's going to turn around because they smell a guy who's been sitting next to a fireplace. So when I spray Ameer Al Oud Intense, I get a good blast of alcohol at first. After 5 or 6 seconds, that kind of dies down and I'm left with a very strong and masculine scent of sweet spices and leather. So that would be kind of like saffron and nutmeg mixed with leather. I do not detect any chestnut or chestnut accords or nutty accords at all. Now after a minute or two, the scent kind of develops into a smoky, warm scent that still has that kind of sweet component in the background, a little bit of spices, but the leather and oud notes are very prominent to my nose. So one of the notes listed is labdanum, and that is supposed to smell like musky, leathery, and sweet, and that is exactly what I smell coming off my skin. So as we move into the dry downs on both of these fragrances, Replica's By the Fireplace smells almost identical to the mid. You still have that slightly nutty yet cozy, warm fireplace wisp of sweet smoke coming through, and the vanilla seems to be coming out a little bit more, but it's almost identical to the mid, just a touch bit sweeter. Ameer Al Oud, on the other hand, starts to turn into more of a campfire scent to my nose. A lot of smoke, a lot of woods, and a very strong burnt vanilla or like a toasted marshmallow scent that lingers in and out of the fragrance. When it gets to the dry down, Ameer Al Oud is much stronger, has better projection, and it seems to last a lot longer. So that brings the question, is this a good fragrance or is this a good clone of Replica? This is a really good fragrance to me. I love the way this smells. I love to wear this when it's really cold and there's a lot of winter winds. Now, is it a good clone? In my opinion, no. This is either a bad clone of By the Fireplace, or this is a standalone fragrance and it's not supposed to be a clone of By the Fireplace. Look, this fragrance is around $25 at online discounters. To me, very much worth the pick up if you like sweet and smoky scents, slightly leathery, with a little bit of that kind of burnt or toasted marshmallow note in the background. I get probably 6-8 hours out of this, and it gets really good projection for a long time. This is something that when you walk into a room, if you just sprayed it within the last hour or so, people are going to smell you, and it smells awesome.